What is up, guys? This is I I want to say this is the last part, but I'm not sure. I stopped the video in the last one because I really feel like this is coming to an end. I really feel like this is the last part. So if it is, then thank you guys for being here for this entire game. It's been so much fun. I've enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have enjoyed the entire thing, or if you guys are just watching the final, please go and watch the others. It's awesome. Tell me in the comments how much I'm bad at investigating. Tell me what I missed, how much stuff I missed. I might go back and do the side missions. If I do, then it'll be up on my channel. I'm definitely going to replay this game, though. This was an amazing game. And if you guys are new to this channel, but you guys liked what you guys saw, please subscribe, because there'll probably be more of it. And if you guys want some other type of games, just put it down in the comments. Tell me what type of games you guys want me to put and play. Play. Wow, my English sucks. So just, communicate, guys. Well, all that said, let's get back into it. I think this is the final part, so let's get it. So. That is very weird. Hold on, let me try to. There we go. I don't know why my mouse. I didn't even recognize that until like the last second, but my mouse was on the right side of the screen, just frozen there for a sec. That was weird. Alright.
Welcome, sir. I do hope you enjoy yourself.
I hope so too. This seems fun. We definitely don't know who's who, so this is either scary or fun.
Enjoy the evening, sir. There is still plenty of time before the grand finale.
All right.
Are these sex slaves? Like, look what they're wearing. Well, not sex slaves, but like those sex desire people. The ones that wear all the weird stuff. Alright, now that's not weird. But that is weird. Yeah, I saw where it said sexual content in the game, and I'm like, what's sexual content? Now I know what they mean.
What if I write an article about these people here? Can you help me gather information about Cordona's elite?
Wait, I changed your outfit, bro. No way, you're still wearing that. Dang it. Well, I don't want to change my clothes. I want to change this, John's clothes. Come on, that is not cool. I swear, I changed your clothes. Oh well. You guys saw what the Ukrainian theme looked like. It wasn't that good. I think the candy dude is a lot better. So.
I guarantee we'll have a good time.
That's very creepy.
My goodness, Sherlock. They made a blood fountain.
No, John, it's definitely not blood, just wine. The whores at a guess.
This is very weird. Well, of course, he's a painter. Like, no offense to painters, but they're like weird in sexuality. There's a back door. That's locked. Oh, found a way.
Sherlock, friend, I wasn't sure you'd come.
Bro, this dude's a pimp.
Werner, I see you are not yourself.
The more time you spend here in Cordona, the more I feel it my duty to bring you into our world and show you all we have to offer.
And what is on offer today?
Pleasure, indulgence, relief, and relaxation. You've earned some time for yourself, have you not?
Those who know me would say I'm incapable of it.
Nonsense. I refuse to believe there is anyone permitted to know Sherlock Holmes.
Huh. You may be right.
Then free yourself from inhibition and expectation. The night is young, and so are the guests. You should try to enjoy both. It's not healthy for handsome men to spend every night alone, and certainly not in a house filled with such melancholic memories.
I must admit, my travels have proven more taxing than expected. I'm less confident in my life and myself. Time of relaxation seems a distant dream.
So can I tempt you with a physical aid to your moral consolations? There's wine, of course, and something to smoke, or perhaps an artificial paradise? Yes, something more spiritual, a potentiator to sharpen the mind. A 7% solution of, well, that'd be telling, but you must try it.
Let's see. That would be pointless. That would be reckless. I'm gonna go with pointless.
My mind already operates at a far higher level than most. I struggle to believe anything could improve it. My ultimate duty is to provide the world with truth, and I do that perfectly well as is.
Duty? You've never cared about that before.
Of course I do. Exposing a lie, revealing a fact, that is a moral responsibility.
That's not morality. Morals are what happens afterwards when truth collides with consequence. Do you ever follow up on cases you solved? Do you ever see what happened next, visit the victims, ensure justice is served in the courts? And how do you choose where to direct your attention? Are there not deserving causes to which your brilliance could be applied but isn't?
You ascribe me more power than I possess. I have a narrow skill set and work within that mandate. What occurs afterward is irrelevant.
With every action or inaction, you place a finger on the scales of morality. Many in the city would see you as abdicating your responsibility.
I haven't.
Not me, of course. Morality is subjective, just like truth. There is little to be gained from indulging in it, and far better things to indulge in. Now I must insist on easing any burdens I've placed upon your shoulders. Show yourself a kindness, and try this rather delectable concoction.
I'd rather take it for study. I won't need it. Meh,
If this
sorry.
solution truly does assist with thinking, then perhaps it would be puerile to overlook an opportunity to study it. I'll take it with me.
Yes, Sherlock. Very good. And now, our evening begins in earnest. I just remembered. I'm sorry, Sherlock. My mind's delightfully impaired. Please take this key. It opens the altar room, past the library.
Pardon? Altar room? What now, Werner?
Go quickly and find our Fabio. Only you can make him talk. I'll join you in a minute.
Let's see, what do you got? Shrimp, wine, and a syringe? I'll be honest, I'm thinking heroin. This dude was trying to offer me heroin, but he said smoke, so I'm not gonna say heroin. He got wine. This dude is, like, out of it. There's no way he's possibly, like, functioning right now. This is one crazy party, so I'm just gonna go this way, you know, ignore all the craziness. Had a feeling this was the room I was supposed to go into. Yo, what?
My God. Was he here this whole time?
Okay, this just got even weirder. So, is the dude who's the painter? I knew it! It's always the painter.
This crude tattoo partially covers a slave branding. This worm-like sigil has been drawn with his own blood. The dagger is heavy and sharp, but lacks balance. This golden handle has a bloodstain on it. The wound is deep. A precise strike reached the heart. A blunt-force trauma may have suffered an internal hemorrhage.
There we go.
The victim has clenched the fabric so firmly in his fist that it's nigh impossible to remove it. He died right here.
This is just so weird.
The herbs here are Salvia divinorum. They have a slight hallucinogenic effect to emphasize the ceremony. This elaborate box must be for the ritual dagger. This oil has a slight aroma of flowers and olive. The ointment smells mouse-like. I presume it is an aphrodisiac prepared from a Spanish fly. This one looks like a twisted symbol of Venus drawn in a hurry.
Okay, he's over here, so I'm just gonna go and do this.
The sign reminds me of the astrological symbol for Mars.
Cigars.
Enough cigars to burn down the entire mansion. Why don't people tidy up after themselves? Blood. A sturdy bottle met a not-so-sturdy human. It didn't break only because it was unopened. An open wound spoiled the carpet.
Let's follow from this. Let's go talk to the creepy dude.
Werner, care to explain what is going on here?
On nights like these, it's not unusual for some attendees to get a little exuberant. It's part of the appeal. Unfortunately, it appears things have gotten out of hand. Yes, some are more prone to bend the rules of morality.
That's murder. I doubt there's anything left to bend. Why did you not tell me immediately? We were chatting about trivial matters for some time.
If I'm completely honest, Sherlock, I've consumed a rather potent cocktail of substances. My attention slips and drifts. But I'm glad I thought to call for you.
You sent me a disguise.
Oh dear, did I? Well, since I found the body, Mr. Manchios has agreed that you can investigate the matter. I promise my mind will behave itself going forward.
All right. Pull yourself together, Werner.
So this probably isn't the ending.
What is it about these nights that you were so eager to share with me?
Well, they're not always in the evenings, but they are in the shadows. People gather to test their boundaries in a safe and consensual atmosphere, often with more stains than your typical crime scene. But that is the point. Who are we to judge?
I suppose that's fair. What about today, then? Was anything different?
Well, I was invited as a special guest. It was supposed to be a time of both divine and carnal pleasures. A scratch for every unconventional itch.
I imagine you're reeling from your shattered expectations.
On the contrary, there is still spectacle, stimulation, and release, merely in a different form. I like to let life entertain me.
Or death. Mr. Manchios is the owner of the manor, yes?
And the host of Cordona's most memorable parties. He promises even the ugliest guest a partner for the night. And for the ones with more unconventional tastes, Mr. Manchios provides other services.
What a caring person.
You cannot begin to imagine.
And now he's dead.
How did you discover the body? In between guzzles of alcohol?
I was set to perform in a fecundity rite with Fabio and came to inquire further. It was a staged ritual where he was to play the principle of life.
And the rehearsal was unsuccessful?
Ha! Who knows? I found him alone on the altar, his blood dripping to the floor.
And then?
Then I called Mr. Manchios. He was panicking, so I told him about you. We left the room and locked the door. Then we were
Filling time?
Waiting for you was stressful. We indulged in some simple comforts. Overindulged, perhaps.
Were you well acquainted with Fabio, the victim?
Everyone knew Fabio, or wanted to. His beauty was the talk of the island. Too handsome to go unnoticed. He was magnetic. Fat wallets fought for the privilege of having him. He offered the pleasures of performance, and more.
Okay.
What about the fertility ritual? There was something about Fabio being a principle of life.
Fabio was supposed to portray the beauty of life's origin. Flowers, oil. Not this travesty that seems straight out of the Inquisition.
So this ritual is not the fertility rite. What was it meant to look like?
It begins with a woman lying naked in a flower bed on the altar. She represents Gaia, the earth. As I cover her in oils, we chant for the principle. As our calls reach a climax, Fabio enters and copulates with her. After he finishes, I stab her with a dagger. That part's just pretend, of course.
But the intercourse is not?
I did not expect you to be such a prude. Are you a virgin? It is nothing to be ashamed of, but it would explain the color of your cheeks. The fertility rite marks the start of our festivities. The principle of life is beautiful, intimate, essential. It must not be stopped.
Yet it appears that someone did stop it. What about the naked woman? Can you tell me anything about her?
Oh yes, Matista. She's one of Fabio's compatriots and a performer too. I haven't seen her today, actually.
When you discovered the body, was the door open?
No, it was locked. Oh, that reminds me. It's a minor detail, but the first time I came to speak to Fabio, I left without entering, having been unable to open the door.
You didn't have the key?
No, I had it. Don't look at me like that. I was mostly sober. I suspect there was a key in the other side of the door, blocking the lock.
That detail may very well be major, Werner. Well done. So you returned later, only to find the lock was not blocked?
Correct. After an hour had passed, I tried again and was able to unlock the door. That's when I discovered poor, handsome Fabio.
The police remain unaware of this tragic event?
Some of them may be hiding behind their masks. They conceal many things. But we didn't want the authorities to create more problems. Besides, after a few cocktails, their incompetence will have soared to new heights.
How do you know I even want the case?
I promised you relaxation. If there's one thing I know about you, Sherlock, it's that nothing soothes you more than a good mystery.
That's true. That's very much true. Thank you for this new mystery that you gave me, I guess. So let's see. Mind Palace. Fabio died on the altar. There we go. Fabio was sacrificed on the altar during a station. Oh, yeah. Let me just ask this guy.
You've got a lot to do, Sherlock.
Oh, here we go.
A person leaned against the doorframe. They left a smudged trail of blood.
Let's see, what else did they leave?
A bloody handprint on an armchair. The wounded person was here for some time. There appeared to be no further traces leading to the altar.
Okay. He's just swimming around.
You've got a lot to do, Sherlock.
Okay, so I am allowed. I can't open this door. That's good. Good to know.
The pitcher is empty, but with puddles around it. blood clots are adhered to the sides of the drain.
Huh. Even I didn't see that.
Identical to the robes the guests are wearing. Props, decorations, and tools for a more detailed set.
So this is like a play.
This is a different ritual.
Huh. Moncio's note. Don't ignore the guests, Matista, and stop boring them. They don't want to hear about your stupidities. They want to feel how beautiful they are and how generous you can be towards them. You are here to please and celebrate life. Remember, each guest paid a great deal to be with you. Monchios. Okay.
How can anyone accept such behaviour?
A useful tool for a disguise arsenal.
Interesting.
Handcrafted and luxurious cufflinks. There's also a note. For my Fabio, Manchos.
And a key.
The key is similar to the one that Vogel gave me. The capital F on the key fob might refer to Fabio.
Makes sense. And of course, the mask.
Would you recognise me in one of these? I suppose not.
And there's
Similar
a
to the
Billy Goat.
guests' robes, apart from the bloodstains.
So, Sherry, do you have any ideas about the case?
Perhaps. I think I can deduce what happened here.
Down. Oh wow, this was a fast case too that I solved. I think this one was actually faster than any of the others. Okay, locked door. Smack her in the face. Body. Smack her with the face again. Oh wow, this guy just gets smacked her with the face a lot. Water. Yeah, I think that would be more realistic. Hides the clothes. Stabs him. Okay, so let me go back here. No, actually, hold on. Yeah, I think it would be this way, yeah. Then crawls. Yeah, get stabs. Validate it.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Wow, I actually thought that was pretty good. Okay. So definitely gets stabbed. That one gets to stay right there. That proves. Handprint definitely shows that. He got smacked in the face. There's only two options. Let's try that.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Okay. Smack in the face. Has. What's that? Both lost. That.
You're not
Oh.
even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Um. Maybe that? Yeah, probably that. To validate that.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Okay.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
John, shut up with your diary. I'm about to like smack your diary in the face. Locks the door. Oh. Wait, I'm wearing the Ukraine thing now. I just realized that. Huh. But before I wasn't wearing it. I wonder why.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Okay, let's see. Um. He definitely got stabbed. Definitely 100%. Definitely got punched. He definitely got hit in the face. Maybe he washed his clothes but didn't put it away. Let's try that.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
I'm about to smack that not even trying out of John's face.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Huh. Let me think. Let me read the other ones. Let me just read it again. This again.
The bottle was used as a weapon during a scuffle in the smoking lounge. Then, to ensure no one would interrupt, the murderer locked the door. The unconscious body of the victim was moved to the altar room. Once the body was on the altar, the murderer thrust the dagger into the victim's heart. Symbols were drawn with the blood. The wardrobe was used to hide the bloodied robe from anyone's eyes. The killer washed himself and took a clean robe from the hanger before leaving.
Are you all right? You're on the floor, not moving.
I think I know what happened here.
Okay. Fabulous key remains untouched. Okay, the murderer was in possession of a key to the altar room and locked the door. Bobby was killed in a ritual murder. The ritual was a cover. The ritual was staged. It was covered for the true murder motive. Okay.
I'm starting to put the pieces together.
Fabio was stabbed.
I see nothing gets past you, Werner. Yes, he was stabbed, but only after being knocked out in the next room and placed here. I do not yet know why.
So, who's responsible?
Well, it was one person working alone, and the murderer has now donned a robe. He or she could be hiding in plain sight. We have lost time, Werner, but your discretion may prove to be a benediction after all. The murderer had to have access to this room. After the crime, he used his own key to lock the door. So, who had the key to the altar room?
I'm not sure. As a special guest, I was provided one by Mr. Manchios. He should be able to tell you of any others.
Where can I find him?
Most likely in the main hall, entertaining his guests. He has a mask with golden stars. You can't miss him. But please be discreet. We don't want to risk disturbing the revelry. I know you can untangle this mess.
Sherlock, don't forget to find the information I need before the guests leave.
Let's see. You should know who had key. Vogel told me he saw him in the hall. The man wears a mask with golden stars. He probably was still nervous after the discovery of the body. A golden mask.
I need a rest from my insatiable wife.
My husband thinks I am playing bridge here.
Maybe in here.
Manchos had to enforce the masks.
Uncover the identity disclosure scandal. Cheating groom. 2 ports to attend. Political crisis. Someone sick. Lost a bet. Them the douches. Political crisis.
Manchos had to enforce the masks.
Let's see. Okay. Nope. Nope. Political crisis. Nope. Nope. Them douches. Nope. Cheating group. There we go. Oh, there's 4. Okay. I think I know it now.
Manchos had to enforce.
This one. Nope. Also, nope. Hey, why do I keep thinking that one? No. Ah, dang it, cheating groom. Okay, now I know it.
Manchos had to enforce
Here
the
we
masks.
go. Last try. 3rd time's the charm, or is this 4th time? Don't exactly remember. There we go. No. Ah. And cheating groom. There we go. Okay. People described a scandal from a previous party. Vice Governor Cowden was founded by his wife to be a Prussian duchess in the company of young men. Although the marriage was intended to be a political one, the emotions of the duchess were real. The incident instigated a political crisis between Cordona and Prussia. Although there were only a few notes of protest, the governor fired his protege.
That's what I like about this party. Bring me more dirt, Sherry. One more piece, and I can expose these base hedonists.
That might be him. Here we go. I think.
Do you know what was here before men?
Find out the eerie history of the mansion. Here we go. Magical circle. Oh, mysterious appearance. Okay, I think I got it.
Do you know what was here?
Let's see. I think I have it. Not auction. Not accident. This one. Not fraud. Not ruins. There we go. Alright, before Mencius's family, the mansion was owned by an occultist architect. He dedicated his life to conducting a powerful ritual from the Forgotten Tome, but the ordinary magic circles proved too weak for it. That was why he built this mansion. A keen eye might notice that its shapes correspond with certain magical symbols, and some walls have cavities. One day, the architect simply disappeared. An ash stain on the floor was all that remained. Perhaps he was successful in his endeavor.
I'll pin them down with this scoop. Thank you, Sherlock.
Yep.
Oh, I heard the finale will be splendid.
I'm a little nervous. And
Kurt
Here we go.
Manchios, I presume. I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, you must be the one Werner told me about. What a sweet voice you have. It must belong to a handsome young man. Can I call you Sherlock?
As you wish, Mr. Manchios. Mr.
That's so
Vogel
awkward.
asked me to help you. The body in the altar room requires answers, and quickly. I suspect the murderer to still be here.
What? Lower your voice. I don't want anyone to hear us.
Did you know Fabio well?
People are starting to look at us, Sherlock. Change the subject. I can't believe what happened to him. To me. Such an atrocity. Think what it means for me. A wonderful evening for so many good, influential, and rich people has been ruined. I have betrayed all my promises of exotic delights.
I don't understand. Surely a murder would affect your reputation to a greater extent.
Please, isn't this why you are here? I thought you were a silent magician. Do your tricks and make it go away.
I need to find all those who had the key to the altar room. As far as I know, Mr. Vogel, Fabio, and you had access to it. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. Also, Matista and Santos.
Santos? Who is that?
Santos Pinchetti, my major domo. In his opinion, at least.
I'd like to speak to Mr. Pinchetti and Matista. Do you have somewhere I might have a private conversation with them?
Of course, of course. Let me think. Matista is entertaining the guests somewhere, and Santos... Oh, yes. He will be busy with the servants. Or the cook. What's that noise? What's going on?
Huh.
Freeze, filth. You're under arrest.
And now... Oh, I thought I was about to get arrested. What in the world is going on? I am so lost with this story right now. Now I'm lost. When did the cops get involved? What's going on? Is that me? Did I get arrested?
Committed a crime, and now I have to free you, kiss your hand, and apologize for the inconvenience. Your Grace.
I did tell you that Mr. Vogel and I were innocent. I emphasized it in my statement.
Your statement? Thanks to some bigwigs who work for the so-called good of the country by releasing fleas like you. Thank God we have Vogel in this letter. Once I get to that goldfish, I'll...
Bigwig? Oh, my wretched brother Mycroft and his long nose.
Wait, did you say Mycroft? Mycroft Holmes? Are you the youngest son of Violet Holmes, rest her soul?
You knew my mother?
Not personally, no. Not exactly. I was working on the paperwork for that case.
Would you happen to remember anything of the events?
Well, I didn't make the inquiry, but I remember seeing some notes. Why?
Perhaps we can negotiate. I could be quite useful.
Huh. Got you hooked, right? You know what? Stark and the others think they're the smartest here, thanks to you. Let me get this straight. Are you listening to me, lad?
I'm all ears.
Take this case. Report to me only, to Constable Harvey Oswald. I'll leave everything I have on this table. Find the murderer. Be a real copper. Question the suspects, make them sing, give me something substantial.
And if Mr. Vogel is not a suspect?
If he's innocent, then you can take your favourite degenerate away from here. If you slip or mess with the evidence, then trust me, your brother won't save you from my bludgeon. Meanwhile, I'll be checking the archive for you. If anybody asks, then you're a consulting detective.
Let's make a start then, partner.
Okay.
I'm glad we managed to get the scoop before the raid.
Yes. That was crazy. I don't even know what happened right there. Oh, man. I don't even know how the police came in. It was so weird. And then there was like, I'm pretty sure there was music that was supposed to go on because I have the music all the way. I have like no music on. Probably why there was no music going on. But it was just so weird and quiet. I was like, what the hell is going on? Okay. Just a bunch of names.
Back on track to solve the case.
Got some keys. The provider of this ticket has permission to inspect all evidence on case number 62 and 60. Oh. Oh, it looks like it wasn't going to be that easy of a mission. There's still more to it, so... but I feel like we're coming to an end, though, so that's a good thing. Not really. Let's see, Mind Palace. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Pinchetti is a suspect who should be arrested and questioned. He had a key which he did not mention in his deposition. Okay. Santos is a suspect. Santos has a key to the altar room and the crime scene. He even appeared first person to find the body. That makes him a perfect suspect. Oswald in the archives to question him as a suspect.
Look, I found Werner.
Werner, are you all right?
Oh, yes. Everything's fine. In fact, it's something of a family reunion. My brother spent quite some time in this place himself.
You should not be here. I told the police everything I knew, but they refused to let you go. They require proof to free you.
Ha! What did you expect? The mighty Sherlock Holmes swans in, tells the officers what to think, and the world obeys?
Of course not. Anyway, I struck a deal with the constable, and I've got a free hand in the investigation. I find proof to solve the case for him. He obtains files about my mother's death for me.
Well done. If one has the power or will and can act, then one must. I wonder, suppose you couldn't get the proof to your truth. Would you tell a lie to the guard that enabled my freedom, knowing my innocence? Would that not be just?
There are lines I will not cross, Werner. I will do my best to secure your release, but with proof, not deception.
Really? How many white lies have you told on this island? Why not for me? Why not another?
That is absurd. I can resolve this without compromises. Do not give up hope.
Right, evidence.
I don't think I can tell you anything about this. I can't follow you here.
I have learned who told the police about the crime. It was Santos Pinchetti,
Do I know him?
the major domo of the manor. He cleans up after you.
Well, then he does his job perfectly. All but invisible. I couldn't tell you the first thing about him.
Yeah. That's great. Okay. Well, I look very weird in this outfit, so... Because this whole weird thing went on. I told you guys I would put every suit on, but I'm gonna be honest. the plague and the doctor thing is just kind of weird. I'm gonna go because this seems like a really big mission. I'm gonna go with the greatest detective. And is there a hat for him? There's no hat. So there we go. Oh, I look sharp. Okay, let's get this on. Inspectors, archive.
You'd better ask me a question I know how to answer.
Have you considered Mr. Santos Pinchetti as a suspect?
The snitch? Have you seen him? I mean, my breath could knock him down. What's so special about him?
As a major domo, he has keys that open all the rooms, including the one to the crime scene. Could have testified only to circumvent suspicion, don't you think? We need to question him.
Right. I'll send our men to fetch him. Stay here.
Okay.
They brought him in, Mr. Holmes. Here's the key to interrogation room number 7. Mr. Pinchetti didn't even resist, our men said.
Thank you.
Okay. Interrogation number 7.
This area is restricted.
No. Here we go.
Good day, Mr. Manchios. I am Constable Oswald's partner in this investigation.
Be quick and gentle. Some of your colleagues are untrained boors. Although I don't mind meeting young officers. The new blood here.
If you cooperate in finding Fabio's murderer, there will be no need to meet with the Boers again.
That voice. Werner's friend? You're the policeman. What a disappointment.
Only an undercover agent can scour a ditch full of deviants. I am a consulting detective, although I'm capable of replacing the entire department through my consultations.
Sharp-tongued, I like it. May I presume this tongue will get us out of this trouble? I would be so indebted and glad to repay you.
Nothing's changed. I'm looking for the murderer. That's the only way to get us out of trouble.
But it shouldn't take much time, correct? We're all busy after all.
I need to examine you first.
Observe. Where's makeup? No offense, a little gay. If you guys are gay, like, there's nothing. Alright, I shouldn't be saying that. There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm straight. Like, extremely straight. So, when I see something, and I am Christian, so when I see something, I'm gonna say it's gay. If you take offense to it, oh well. Don't watch my videos. And if you don't, then great, because I'll probably be saying it a lot. I just want to. Just in case you guys start getting mad, I just want you to know that I'm definitely going to be saying it. And if you guys don't like it, don't complain about it, because I won't pay attention to it. Just don't watch my videos. It's as simple as that. Alright, sorry, off topic. Off topic. Wow. Let's get back to the video. I mean, to the game. Wow, I need to take an English class. Washed hands in a hurry. Huh, that's pretty suspicious. And his shoes are pretty clean. I was just a stickler for cleanliness. Hides his age. I'm gonna say stickler for cleanliness.
You are so focused on cleanliness that these products are severely damaging your skin.
I would laugh at you. Ha! If only my cheeks didn't hurt. Not exactly. I try to take care of my body. A young man who has yet to confront his own aging couldn't hope to understand.
These chemicals are quite literally melting your face.
Ah, the price of beauty. I'll be fine. I'm sure of it.
Such a methodical man who cares for his body but misses the soap under his fingernails. Are you so impatient, or perhaps even impulsive?
I wouldn't call myself that. Silly little details. If I missed it, it wasn't important. Or rather, it was less important than who or what I was focused on.
Okay, provide evidence.
I've no idea about that. I've no idea about that.
Yeah.
You'd better ask someone else.
Do you have any idea who tipped off the police to raid your mansion, Mr. Manchios?
Of course. It was you. I could even say you Sherlocked me in here.
A good guess, but the wrong one. The fellow who did that was Mr. Pinchetti, your major domo.
What? Santos? But how could he even know? If he's not the murderer himself. The ungrateful swine. He has dared to besmirch my reputation.
Not a very eloquent choice of words.
What should I call him then, since he's a snitch? Make him talk, Sherlock. I'm quite certain he knows more about the murder than he has told the police. That's not something I know much about. That's not something I know much about. That's not something I know much about. I've no idea about that. I've no idea about that.
Solve that.
That's not something I know much about.
I'm gonna go back.
Mr. Vogel told me a little about your parties, but I would like to know more directly from you.
I'm all yours, Sherlock. You have me arrested and locked here with you alone.
Why did you invite Mr. Vogel as your special guest?
He's a pretty fellow. He's capable of surprising the public. He has a talent for saying words that no one else would wish to either say or hear.
I suppose I can't argue with that.
He is a free addition to the eccentricity of the party, which is fine by me, as long as it enhances my party.
I'd like to know who you usually invite to your parties.
Free minds who are able to leave reality for an evening, who can taste forbidden fruit without prejudice. There is nothing that quite spices up life like these parties, assuming one is old enough and has worked many years for the good of one's country.
Oh, all true labourers, I see. What was Fabio like? His personality, his habits? Anything you can tell me?
He was the brightest star of my parties. Young, magnetic, and full of energy. I don't even want to mention his beauty. Otherwise, I'll be sobbing.
An expensive champion, I imagine.
His performances were flawless. He deserved his payment. Do you think he was murdered because of money?
Possibly. What about the other guests? Were they used to opening their wallets as well?
I wouldn't restrict my guests from anything. I'm sure Fabio received a few coins from others for his services.
I appreciate your cooperation, Mr. Manchios. Wait just a moment, I have something to check.
Yeah, I don't think that's probably for Santos. There's no one in there, so this has to be him.
Mr. Pinchetti?
There we go.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald.
I've already told him everything I know. I'm only a witness, sir. Everything's in my report.
And I've read it. You forgot to mention that you hold the keys to the room where Fabio was found. I need only to find if the crime was intentional.
But I need to return to my duties.
I doubt the house will fall without you, Mr. Pinchetti. Just be still for a few seconds.
He seems kind of weird. Repaired multiple times. Psoriasis or allergy. Colored more than once. stepped in blood. Oh, that's a big one. Terrible Meister, despite having enough money, Mr. Bennett, she spends a little of it. She makeup hides perfections. Financial difficulties, power, shows something. This.
You are the major domo of a rich mansion, and you seem barely able to afford decent clothing. You hide under heavy makeup a skin disease that might be treated with more onerous but less harmful means. Do you have money troubles?
Do not have a lot of means. The pay is below what you might expect.
But you could easily change your job if your employer does not meet your elementary needs.
One can change his employer, that is true.
And the blood on your shoe, where does that come from?
I don't actually know. Perhaps from a guest?
Did you know Fabio?
Not personally. He was a frequent guest, and cleaning the mess after his performances was tedious. Mr. Manchios always had a role for him, and mainly the leading one. The parties were always Fabio-centric.
And Matista? Was she as popular as her partner?
Don't tell her I said this, but I do not think so. Mr. Manchios hired her only because Fabio refused to work without her. Mr. Manchios used to see her as a worker. She was tasked with entertaining the guests, unlike Fabio, who could pick and choose.
Very interesting. Wine Palace, here we go. Ooh, another one. Santos Pinchetti may have stepped into blood while discovering the crime scene. Kurt Machios carefully prepared himself for the depravity. Machios set himself up for depravity. Kurt Machios carefully prepared himself for the depravity. Kurt Machios cleaned himself of blood after Fabio's murder. Let's just check some more clues. Pancho missed the blood splatter, accidentally stepped in the blood, may have in the blood while discovering the crime scene, failed to notice a blood stain on the side of his shoe while cleaning himself after the murder. Probably. There's another witness. Oh, that's where they're at. There's the numbers. Okay. I was looking for them. Oh, where are they?
I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald. You are Matista, Fabio's friend.
This body, yes, it's Matista. But it's a mere shell that will die someday. Just like Fabio.
Condolences?
Please accept my condolences for your friend.
Thank you.
I'm just here to ask questions and find Fabio's murderer.
It will not bring Fabio back.
Why is there something on her neck? Look at that. Right there. Blood-filled bruises. Oh, there's primitive ocular tattoo. Bits and nails. She's been nervous about something. Scratch marks, old and healing cuts. Let's see. Oh wow, she's super bruised. Shackle scars. There we go. That's the same mark. Burn mark. They branding her. Punishes herself that dissociated from her body. This seems to be pregnant about her body after years of abuse. She sells the guests who do whatever they want to her. She's not afraid to step over the line. Also, Matista marks her body with ink. She has genuine interest in Medusa, tries to get over her past, and the life of a performer seems to be an opportunity to her to earn money. I want to go with
Fabio and yourself were slaves, am I correct? You have a similar branding on your body.
Yes. It was a long time ago.
Couldn't help but also notice fresh cuts upon your forearms.
The cuts helped me to forget my past, to cover the old wounds and hide them.
How did you escape?
Something happened. One night the master fell down the stairs. I made him fall, and he died. We ran away that day. We managed to get on a ship and traveled here, to Cordona. Fabio and I started a new life here. It was very hard at first, but it became better with time. Until today.
The bruises on your neck are not self-inflicted. Someone else made them.
Some guests can't contain themselves. They even bite, sometimes.
very interesting. Matilda suffered bruises on her body from brutal interactions with the guests during the party. Fabio bruised Matilda during their fight in the smoking lounge. Fabio bruised Matilda. Matilda suffered bruises on her brutal interaction. I'm gonna go with this one. This one actually seems. Okay, that's all the F's.
That's not something I know much about. You'd better ask someone else. You'd better ask someone else. That's not something I know much about.
I appreciate your cooperation, Mr. Manchios. Wait just a moment, I have something to check.
I'm stuck. Here we go.
Please let me out.
Help.
I know you can untangle this mess.
Continue our investigation while I look for the papers.
Okay, I used my mind. Okay, so it could have been her. I guess so. No one else here. No one else.
I know I can handle the news.
That's not something I know much about. That's not something I know much about. That's not something I know much about. That's not something I know much about.
You bought an
There we go,
expensive pair
finally.
of cufflinks for Fabio. Were they his price? Or were they a tip for an exclusive show?
It was pure business. Fabio escorted me a few times. I was merely showing my gratitude.
This pair cost a small fortune. You must be extremely grateful then. Tell me more.
You've thrust a knife in an exposed nerve, Sherlock. Yes, he was my protege and my beacon also. With my experience and his beauty, we could have achieved anything. I had faith in him. I would have made him. I can't wrap my head around such a tragedy at my part.
Okay, here we go. Interesting. Now,
Continue our investigation while I look for the papers.
one.
I know I can handle the news.
The air here is rather refreshing. I'd even recommend that some of my friends visit the place.
Please let me out.
Okay. Sacrificial Pinchetti is a majordomo. So the letter. Yeah, that could be a motive. Could be the killer. Okay. Even think to check inside the room.
I recognize the key from the altar room among these.
Okay, a small note attached to the will says, Santos, my hopeful slug, you begged me to include you in my will, so I did. Here's my latest revision of the will. Kurt, a text of the will under the note. Santos Pinchetti, the majority of the mansion receives a jar of mustache wax and a salt lamp, that he might always remember his caring employer, Kurt Menciosi. That seems like a pretty bad gift. Right, evidence?
Mr. Manchios says that you begged him to be included in the heritage. Isn't that a little extreme, even for a majordomo?
He's not only my employer, he's my uncle,
Oh, shoot.
and I'm his next of kin. The only one. Mr. Manchios flatly refuses to pay a family member. All I have to do is repay his so-called love, cleaning up the filth after perverts and decadents. He's imprisoned me. The best I can hope for is a new broom. That's why I wanted to have my part of the inheritance.
Is it that bad? You have a roof above your head, a salary, and the status of a majordomo.
For God's sake. I'm forced to dye and stitch my threadbare clothes, and the holes in my shoes are painful. I'm ashamed every time a guest looks at me closely.
Why do you think your uncle treats you this way?
My mother, my uncle's sister, had me illegitimately. She died, and I was given the surname of one of the maids.
But you are entitled to some of the money that belongs to your family.
He thinks not. I was not responsible for my mother's death. I work hard, and he pays me nothing. I feed on the leftovers. While he wastes our estate's property on decadent parties, he paid Fabio handsomely and showered him with expensive gifts for their disgusting relationship.
Okay, so there's a little bit more into this. Okay. Carmachos gave Fabio expensive gifts. There you go. Instead of efforts in vain, Vincetti has been forced to work for Carmachos and asked for help of obtaining heritage, but it hasn't paid off. So this might make me think that he's the killer now. So we're just, going with the motives. Let's see. Okay, very interesting. Anything else in this room? No.
I know I can handle the news.
Okay. Provide evidence.
I've read the letter about your will. A harsh method of ridiculing Santos. I doubt he will use mustache wax when he wears no mustache to begin with.
Where did you get it?
Is the slug here? Tell him I shouldn't have to provide for him. He's a grown man who shouldn't sit on his uncle's neck. He conceives himself as my only heir.
And who is he to you?
He's a leech on my aging body. He has only added problems to my life since the death of his mother.
I fail to see why you made him your major domo.
He needed to know his place, so I taught him.
Wow.
I can't wrap my head around such a tragedy at my party.
That's pretty bad. Evidence ticket. The provider of this ticket has permission to inspect all evidence on case number 62 and 60. Okay, nothing here.
Continue our investigation while I look.
See, subjects, evidence. The provider of this ticket has permission to inspect all evidence on case number 62. So, violent crimes, subjects, suspects, evidence, districts, okay. Evidence. Huh.
The papers.
Did you hear Basilio Capello is in jail?
Mind? Something new. Vendetta.
Did you hear Basilio Capello is in jail? A dead...
Wife is devastated. Vendetta. Under my mattress. Press scandal. Innocence.
Did you hear Basilio...
Press scandal. Under my mattress. Dead and safe. Devastated. Vendetta. Something else is missing.
Did you hear Basilio...
No. Not Vendetta. Under my mattress. Oh, dead in the safe. There we go. My curiosity has been piqued by talk that Basilio Capello, the owner of the famous Amor Capello home security company, has been arrested. His situation is quite peculiar. A man named Nicola Detti has been found dead inside a safe in Basilio's store. Basilio claims innocence, but the evidence is against him. He is being held in the holding cells at the police station.
In the police. Let's pretend to be cops, eh? We can just stand around and look confused.
That's funny. That's funny. The raid will be the archive journalist. Another case. More of these guys. They are pretty drunk. How did they not get arrested?
Good day. Your ticket, please, if you want me to help you. Don't waste my time.
I'd like to check the evidence from this case.
And who are you?
Oswald sent me. I'm a consulting detective.
His partner, then? Let me see. Ah, a ritual murder. What a bunch of degenerates. Wait a second. I'll bring it to the table.
All the keys of the mansion on one golden ring.
Very interesting.
A heavily perfumed handkerchief with the initials KM in the corner. It's a miracle this ruby hasn't tempted anyone.
What's this?
An emergency kit for boredom.
Oh.
Not the time for privacy.
Oh, here we go. The notebook. I almost forgot.
Werner's personal sketchbook.
See, it's a jar of some sort.
A handcrafted charm that contains hair and nail clippings.
Oh, a key.
Her key to the altar room.
And the power of love. Blood and
That's
Mandarin.
not for bedtime reading.
That's a little A little weird. Actually,
This
no.
ex libris belongs to Manchios Library.
Oh, okay. The police found this ocult book in the Mantista bag during the arrest. According to the expert, the tome was taken from Manchia's collection and contains illustration and descriptions of a ritual similar to the crime scene. Prepare the naked body. Object draw symbols of Mars. Pierce draw a symbol representing love while waiting for the resurrection. Recite the charm.
The book describes a ritual similar to the one performed in the altar room. Thank you, officer.
Power of love. Oh, here we go. According to Santos Pinchetti and by the content of the letter, it may have been addressed to Kurt Manchios. See. Power of love and the letter from Fabio. Go ask more questions. Alright, let's do a letter.
There is undeniable evidence that you were the original recipient of this letter.
What are you talking about? Is it addressed to me?
Your protege wanted a fresh start, it seems. This is sufficient to charge you.
Me? Hurt my star? Are you insane that you would accuse me of such a thing?
He did not consider himself as yours. Since you deny everything, let's move on. Do you have any idea as to how the letter could have ended up in Mr. Vogel's pocket?
You were the detective. Perhaps he took it from Fabio. Werner was a little high.
Do you recognize this book? Could Matista have borrowed it from your library?
She didn't ask me. How ungrateful.
The things described in the book were inspiration for the rituals you performed?
Do you really believe that blood, symbols, and incantations can resurrect the dead? They are just eerie tales with a mix of occultism and voodoo. My rituals are a stage to show some of the forbidden pleasures.
Alright. Continue asking our guest. She answered. Please provide evidence.
This book, The Power of Love, Blood, and Mandrake, what do you hope to achieve?
To learn more about the invisible strengths that govern us. Occultism is real. The master who fell that night when Fabio and I escaped, I made him fall. I cast a spell on him and it worked.
Or was it a coincidence?
The universe is rarely so lazy.
If you say so. Could Fabio have written this letter to Kurt Manchios?
Oh, that could be. I never thought Mr. Manchios could make Fabio that angry, though.
What do you mean?
Well, Fabio wanted to disassociate from Mr. Manchios. Clients who are in love are both a blessing and a curse.
But Fabio was here tonight.
Money. In our line of work, we can't afford to turn down clients who pay as well as Kurt Manchios.
Was Fabio afraid of Mr. Manchios?
Not at all. The old toad wouldn't dare to do more than sweet talk and touching. Talk can be forgotten, and touching washed away.
Okay.
Do you practice occult rituals?
For protection? For fortune? To wash away the ugliness of the world? Sometimes to survive. I have the gift, and I'm learning to use it better.
Did you use your gift on Fabio?
I only used white magic. Love charms lately. Fabio became so distant. I just wanted him to be with me, but I suppose I'm not as skilled as I thought.
Okay.
Please let me out.
It's not gonna help. Fabio. Official. Power of love. Fabio shattered Kurt Mosch's feelings. But she also said he wouldn't even touch a fly, so he could still be the murderer.
I can't wrap my head around such a tragedy at my party.
Okay, I guess he could get mad enough. And it was a cover, so I really don't think he could have done anything. Provide evidence.
I don't think I can tell you anything about this.
This letter proves nothing. Fabio wrote it to Mr. Manchios. It's time to free Mr. Vogel.
Do you really think I'm that naive? I need proof, not words from his friend.
Very well. Mr. Pinchetti told me that Mr. Manchios was lavishing Fabio with expensive and eccentric gifts. The letter mentions rich rewards and attempts to buy Fabio with them. It was written to Mr. Manchios. Who else was showering Fabio with luxuries to buy him? It doesn't fit Mr. Vogel's character.
Look here. We had a deal. Give me the murderer and then take your friend with you. I won't budge otherwise.
Well, fine, but you're just wasting time.
Continue our investigation while I look for the papers.
Okay.
I can't wrap my head around such a tragedy at my party.
See. Shields denies any connection with the letter and claims that Vogel took it from Fabio. Vogel.
I have reason to believe that the intended recipient of the incriminating letter may have been Kurt Manchios.
Well, that makes sense. Too bad I can't remember how I came to possess it, though I did spend quite some time with Mr. Manchios during the party.
Unfortunately, even with an answer, that may still not be enough to clear you with the police. But fear not, I will persevere.
I hope your attempt to put things straight will make up for...
You being on a bender?
touché.
Okay. So now we got something. Okay. Vogel took the letter under influence. Anchios planted the letter. I think he planted the letter. Crime of passion. A sexual predator. Kermanchios killed Fabio in cold blood. He staged the crime. Became panicked and did not mean to kill Fabio. Ritual was a desperate attempt to cover up the crime. A prison sentence should be enough. Yeah, I think that's... Alright, I think we just solved this case. Yep.
Continue our investigation. What?
Oh wait,
Look
no,
for the
I gotta
papers.
talk to you.
The murder of Fabio did not have a ritual purpose, Mr. Manchios. It was staged by a man who wished to distract the investigation.
That might be true. That poor girl Matista wouldn't dare to kill the only man who cared for her. So, Santos.
Mr. Pinchetti snatched at the chance to solve his problems.
Ungrateful little scum. Will he be executed?
But what for? He informed the police as to the crime, that was all. He couldn't stage the ritual, but he found the body, I believe.
I can't believe it. Why did Werner do it?
Mr. Vogel, he had no reason, and he won't be a scapegoat as you plan. You put Fabio's letter in his pocket when he was intoxicated, didn't you?
You can't be serious.
Love wasn't mutual.
You're at the twilight of your life. You have no partner, you have no children. You had feelings, however, for one man. That was Fabio. You loved him. That is, you wished to own him with money and gifts. But he was also a free mind, was he not? He turned his back on you. Quite unjust. Love, so cruel and painful, and Fabio, with his words and deeds, made you feel the more wretched. So you killed him.
You must surely perceive that my sensitive nature wouldn't allow me to hurt anyone.
We can very often deduce someone's life by their shoes or their fingernails. You are a meticulous person, but this murder was fairly traumatic and filthy. After you stabbed Fabio, you were covered in blood. You panicked and neglected to rinse the soap from under your fingernails. The devil is in the details, Mr. Manchios.
Nonsense. I missed it simply because of the busy schedule of the party.
Of course, a staged murder was certainly not planned. You staged the murder as a satanic ritual. It was easy for you since you were the one who wrote the scenarios for the parties. It was your way of avoiding suspicion. A respectable man in his 60s,
Early 60s.
who hosts the cream of Cordona society, cannot possibly be a murderer. But the guests who behave like animals in his mansion, of course, one of them could have killed Fabio.
I did oversee a few of the rituals, but I did not stage Fabio's death.
It was a crime of passion.
Fabio played with your feelings. That was painful to realize. You spent so much time and effort to be with Fabio, but he didn't respond in the way that you would have liked. You wanted to be loved, but Fabio shattered your dreams. In the smoking lounge, he teased and mocked you. He wanted you to suffer by offering himself to others. The deception was unbearable. You were passionate, and so you struck him. Once you understood your mistake, it was too late. You were afraid, so you staged the ritual. With such a story, you might be sentenced to a few years. It might clean your conscience, and soon the case will be forgotten.
No. No.
This is my decision. I'll talk to Constable Oswald to see what I can do.
Oh, wow. He's mad. Here we go.
There's no fool like an old fool. Kurt Manchios did it. A young boy played with the heart of an old man. The latter couldn't handle it. The evidence I obtained clearly shows that the quarrel was not intended to end badly. It was an accident.
Showing pity towards your own kind, Holmes. Whatever.
All I'm saying is that prison won't take much away from an old and crushed man.
Fine. A big name like that will still give me a promotion. As for my part, not everything was in place. Perhaps some documents were transferred somewhere else, but I couldn't find a trace of them. Then I remembered. The discarded document drawers where we put the lost papers or the badly labelled ones, including the crime scene report of Violet Holmes's case. Everything I've found is on the desk here. Take it.
Your persistence has saved me.
Yeah, well, we had a deal after all. Your friend is free then. You can leave.
Good luck, Constable.
Nice. Perfect. Okay. Report number 0743. Officers arrived to find the deceased identified as Miss Violet Holmes lying in the garden of Stonewood Manor. Visual inspection showed that the victim to be thoroughly soaked with a deep vertical incision 2 inches in the length down her throat. Her face was swollen, covered in red bulges, likely cause of death, hypoxia, awaiting confirmation from medical examiner. Main suspect Odo Richard was arrested on the scene. The body was sent for autopsy. Here we go. Now it's time to remember.
Garden. There's a garden behind our manor. How could I forget? That's where it all happened, where it all went wrong.
Sherry, it looks like you've almost found what you wanted.
Yep. Oh, there you are. Now that I totally forgot to do this. Over here, I'm gonna change him back to ice cream guy. I think he looks better as ice cream guy. Yeah, there we go. Ice cream man. Let me free my friend too. Oh, he's already free.